There are a lot of rare skins in Valorant, some that you might even have. So in today's video, I want to go over some of the most interesting rare items that are in Valorant and talk about when they were released and how you got them in the first place. And the way this video will work is that it will be divided into 5 different sections, that being skins you get from simply buying them, skins you get from Twitch, skins you get from winning a tournament, skins you get from playing ranked, and lastly, skins you get from Riot Games themselves. Hit the like button below and subscribe if you enjoyed, and comment down below if you end up owning any of these skins. Anyways, let's first start off with all the limited edition skins, and we'll go first from the rarest to the more recent. Released back in November 2021, we have the Arcane Sheriff. When this skin was released, many players instantly fell in love because of 2 reasons. The first being that it introduced a brand new style of animations that still to this day holds up really well and is probably the most unique Sheriff animations in the game, and because it was inspired off of the Arcane show which Riot Games also worked on. You were able to buy the skin back in episode 3 as part of the Arcane Collector set for 2,377 VP. Although if you did miss out on this skin, you're not completely out of luck because you can end up getting the Neo Frontier Sheriff, which I would easily say is the better version of the Arcane Sheriff, having better animations, variants, a finisher, and a kill effect. Next, we're going to talk about Champions 2021. This was the first ever Champions collection and was for the Vandal and had a Karambit knife. Although I wouldn't say this is a bad collection necessarily, over time it has aged quite a bit because over time there have been many better Karambits released like Reaver or RGX, and the Vandal was a little bit lackluster, not containing any new firing sounds or model, and this was because the skin was confirmed to be rushed quite a bit. Originally it was planned for the skin to transform with kills just like 2022, but they couldn't get the technology done in time, so they instead rushed out what we got currently.
We wanted to do it last year, we couldn't do it just because the tech wasn't ready, and I think that was like something that really sets this apart this year.
If you did want to buy the Champions 2021 collection, it was 6,263 VP, which makes this one technically the most expensive Champions bundle and also the rarest, because if you didn't buy it back in the day, you will never be able to buy it, just like all the other Champions skins. And after the 2021 collection, the next limited time bundle was actually Champions 2022. Instead of having a Vandal this time around, it had a Phantom, a Butterfly Knife, and they also had the gimmick of the gun turning more and more red as you get more kills. This was a significant improvement over Champions 2021 because this time around the gun had sound effects, a custom model, and also transformations. If you wanted to buy this skin, it was 6,167 or around 100 VP cheaper than the previous bundle. Moving over to the year 2023, the first limited edition bundle that was released was the lock-in capsule. This contained the now coveted lock-in knife alongside 3 player cards and a spray. What made the knife very highly desired was the fact that it was basically a better version of the Xeno Hunter knife, had 4 different variants, and had Champions Aura. The only possible problem I could think of about this skin line was the fact that it was $50 whole dollars for a single knife and a couple accessories. Although the capsule being more expensive does technically make it more rare because it made it less likely for a lot of people buying it, making it probably one of the rarest knives in the game right now. Although if you did miss out on this knife, there are a couple better alternatives like the Zero Fang knife or the Bolt knife. After that, we got the Ignite capsule, which celebrated Valorant's release in China, which contained a knife plus 2 player cards, 2 titles, and 2 sprays. And when it came to the knife, it was a fan just like the Celestial fan or the Equilibrium fan, and had 2 different variants, the first being a red variant and also a purple variant. Plus, both knives contained this cool fire effect throughout the entire blade. If you wanted to buy this entire collection, it was 4,710 VP, so slightly cheaper than the lock-in capsule, but still costed quite a bit. The last limited edition bundle of 2023 was Champions, containing a Vandal and a knife, and the standout feature of this bundle was that the knife was complete dog shit. I'm not kidding, out of all the Champions skins released throughout the years, this knife is definitely the most hated because all the animations are default except for the pullout. That includes includes the right click, the stabbing, the inspect, etc. This knife was just extremely underwhelming. The only redeeming factor of Champions 2023 was that the Vandal was really good, so many people ended up just buying it separately for 2,675. Although if you did want to buy the entire bundle for whatever reason, it was going to be 6,167 VP. Moving on to 2024, the first limited edition capsule release was the Duo's Day capsule, and this bundle was inspired off of E-Daters. I am going to kill myself. In this bundle, we got a buddy, 3 player cards, 3 titles, and 2 sprays. You were not able to buy any of these cosmetics separately, and they were only able to be bought in a bundle that was 1,650 VP. This was definitely by far the worst limited edition bundle in the game. And after that, we got the 2024 VCT Team Skins, which was basically a tiny bundle which contained a VCT Team Skin themed classic, player card, spray, and gun buddy. None of these skins did anything crazy and were primarily there just to support your favorite VCT team skins. Even the China teams ended up getting their own classics, but for some odd reason, they did not have a spray or player card. I don't know why. For an answer, go ask Xi Jinping or something. When it came to the prices of these capsules, it was 2,340 VP for all the normal ones, while the China ones were a bit cheaper, being 1,880 VP. Next, we have Champions 2024, which is by far the best Champions collection released so far, containing one of the best Phantom skins in the game and probably the best Champions knife, containing the same animations as the Sovereign Sword, plus some brand new inspects, right click, and even containing a gun buddy if you have the matching Phantom. I would say more about this collection, but people say I glaze my favorite skins way too much, so I'm just gonna shut the fuck up. Just like all the Champions skins, if you wanted to buy this one, it was 6,167 VP. Shortly after, we then got the Troublemaker collection, and this was just like the Duo's Day bundle, not giving us any guns or a knife, but instead giving us a bunch of cat-themed cosmetics, giving us a gun buddy, a player card, a title, and a spray. And if you wanted to buy these skins, you could not buy them separately and only were able to buy them in a bundle that costed 1,145 VP, which is the reason why many people did not like this collection at all, because most people just wanted the gun buddy and didn't care about anything else. Shortly after, we then got another limited time bundle because 2024 had a lot, and this was actually Arcane 2.0, which gave us the Arcane Vandal and the V Gauntlets. The overall reception of these skins were very 50-50. A lot of people disliked them and thought the Vandal looked clunky and the melee looked stupid, while on the other hand, many people liked the uniqueness of both skins. I'm personally somebody who bought the skins and still use them often to this day, but I do understand why many people don't like these skins. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Luckily, this time around, you were able to buy all of these skins separately, so let's just say you didn't care about the gun buddy or the knife, you were just able to buy the Vandal, and let's just say you didn't care about the Vandal, you were also just able to buy the melee. And if you wanted to buy the entire bundle, it was 5,925 VP. The Tactic Force collection was the last collection released in 2024, and it was by far the worst and the most predatory, containing basically a bunch of gun buddies, player cards, and a spray, and you weren't able to buy any of them separately. You were instead only able to buy them in a $20 pack that only contained the gun buddies, or in a $30 pack that also contained the player cards and the spray. That's right, if you wanted to buy just one of the gun buddies, Riot knew that and made it that you either have to buy the entire bundle or none of it at all, which is what makes these skins kind of rare nowadays because the majority of players just straight up skipped on them. Moving on to the year 2025, the first limited edition skins is ones you can actually still get right now, and that's the VCT 25 team capsules. Just like last year, all the teams did get their own classic skin, the main difference being that the design of this year was different from last year. All the player cards now have this uniform design that is animated, and now all the China skins also get a spray and a player card, unlike last year where they only got the gun buddy and the classic. And the price to get one of these is 2,320 VP. The next rare skin that released in 2025 was actually in the Helix collection, because even though yes, you can still get the guns and the knife because it can come into your store at any time, the actual flex of this collection does remain rare, because the only way you were able to get this is if you bought the bundle or bought it separately for 1,300 $375. If you didn't buy this when the bundle was out, it is most likely that you'll never be able to get it, because as of recording this video, Riot has no plans of re-releasing flexes. There is a small chance you might be able to get it in the future if they add in a new part to the store for flexes, but as of recording this video, this is a pretty rare skin because not that many people wanted to spend $15 on something that has no impact on gameplay. Next up, we got the VCT 2025 Karambit, and this was basically like the lock-in knife of this year, but instead of it being a Xeno Hunter style knife, it was actually a Karambit that actually had 5 different variants, that being a base white variant, plus also a red variant, a pink variant, a green variant, and a blue variant, alongside 4 gun buddies and 4 player cards. Overall, a pretty good knife. But the reason why you won't see this knife around often was because of how much it cost, that being 5,850 VP, or around 60 USD for one singular knife plus a couple accessories. Let's just say many people skipped on this knife because of simply how expensive this is. You were basically paying the price of almost getting a full premium bundle. And the next bundle released after that was not much better, and this was the Duoze Hazin Mat collection, which you bought for 1,500 VP, where in it you got 2 gun buddies, 2 player cards, and 2 titles. I don't know what to say about these because they're just really low quality and I don't think they're worth $15. Another funny thing is that this is intended to be a Valentine's bundle, like you're supposed to gift this to your girlfriend, but the problem is these are completely dog shit. Who would ever gift this to your girlfriend? There's like 100 different things that is better. You can gift them Legos, you can gift them Helldivers, you can gift them a fucking FN57 for self-defense. Small rant over, let's go over to the last limited edition bundle that was released, and this is going to be the Beta Remastered Collection. In this bundle, we got a reactive gun buddy, a player card, a title, and a spray that plays music alongside a knife. That was the old removed Imperium bait knife that was brought back, given variants, and given the Xeno Hunter animations. If you wanted to buy this entire capsule, it was 3,915 VP. So actually not that bad, and the cheapest knife capsule in this game, because all the other ones were either 40 bucks, 45, or just straight up 50. Now that we're done talking about all the skins you got from buying, now let's talk about all the rare skins you got from Twitch. The first being Twitch drops. You got these accessories and gun buddies by simply watching Valorant on Twitch on very specific days, where if you watch it for a certain amount of times, you will then get the exclusive item in game. I'm not going to go over all the rewards, but I'm going to talk about some of my favorite. That being the VCT Spark Buddy, the player card for Champions 2022, the player card for Champions 2023, the Game Changers Trophy, and lastly, the Dan the Champ spray. And for all the ones that I did not mention, here they are currently on screen. If you want to see them specifically, you can just pause the video. Now let's talk about the second set of rare items you were able to get, and these were actually from the Twitch Prime Gaming drops, which were discontinued since March 2024. Just like the broadcast drops, I'm not going to be going over all of them, but I will be talking about some of my favorite, that being the Tower of Power Buddy, Out of This World Buddy, and of course the Wayfinder Shorty and the Wayfinder card. And for the rest of the rewards, here they are currently on the screen, and you can just pause the video if you want to see them in great detail. Now for these next set of gun buddies, these are probably the rarest in the game, as most people don't even have a chance of getting them, because in order to get them, you have to not only be a pro player, but also win a tournament. This purple one you get for winning VCT Masters, this green and orange one you get for winning Lock-In, this orange one you get for winning Game Changers, and this gold one you get for beating champions. So yeah, if you see one of these gun buddies on your enemy's guns, it is a really high chance you are going to lose the game, unless they're using the Game Changers button. Now for these next set of rare cosmetics, the only way you were able to get them was by playing ranked. The next rare skin we're going to talk about is the old ranked buddies, because back in the day they were actually different, because nowadays we all know they kinda look the same, having this cool spinning effect and having a number and letter telling you when you got the gun buddy. Well, for episode 1, the gun buddies actually looked different, having no episode icon, no spinning effect, and was just a static icon of the rank you got. For that reason, many people actually wish they got the episode 1 ranked buddies, because many people say they look cleaner than the new ones. Now this next entry might sound ironic, but I assure you it is not. It's the Iron Gun Buddy. I shit you not. The Iron Gun Buddy is actually one of the more harder gun buddies in the game to get, because to get it, it kind of feels like you have to go out of your way to get it. That being, you need to play that bad that you get placed in iron, and you can't play that much, because if you do end up grinding out of iron, well, now you'll never get the Iron Gun Buddy, because once the season ends, the gun buddy you get was the rank you got the highest of. So once you reach bronze, you will no longer get the Iron Gun Buddy for that season. In order for you to possibly get the Iron Gun Buddy is to ruin your MMR so bad that you get placed in iron the next episode, which is really hard. It's possible to grind up all the way to Radiant, but it's usually borderline impossible to D-rank all the way to Iron. That's what makes the Iron Gun Buddy technically rare. The last cosmetic that is technically rare that you were able to get via playing ranked was actually the Premier Ignition Gun Buddy, because the only way you were able to get this is if you played during the Valorant Premier Beta, specifically in the Ignition phase. If you managed to win the playoffs in your division, you would get this gun buddy. If you didn't get this back in the Premier Beta, you will never be able to get it, which is what makes this gun buddy stand out. The last two cosmetics you can get can only be granted upon by Riot Games. The first being the Riot Buddy. A lot of people already know about what the Riot Buddy is, but for those who don't know, it is basically a gun buddy that is given out by developers to anybody they think is chill. So let's just say you play a random Valorant game and a Riot developer does end up being in a lobby. If you do leave a positive impact on them, there is actually a chance they might just straight up give you this gun buddy. Overall, my best tip to get this gun buddy is to communicate a lot in your game, just be an overall chill person, and hey, maybe one day you'll get lucky and just come across a Riot dev. It's simple as that. The other gun buddy you can get directly from Riot Games is the I Create gun buddy, and the way you get it is that, let's just say you make a piece of art, share a clip, make a tutorial, or like a reaction or fan art, and Riot Games reaches out to you to feature that content, and you give them the green light. Your content will be featured on Valorant's channels, and they will also give you the I Create gun buddy. So for an example I have is we have this person who made this really good Yoru art, and as we can see, Riot actually reposted this. So what I'm guessing is after they reposted it, they did actually give him the I Create gun buddy. So yeah, basically if you make any form of content and Riot Games ends up using it, you can get this gun buddy. That's basically how this entire system works. If you make something and Riot Games wants to use it, they will give you this gun buddy. But that's basically all the interesting rare items I could think of. Comment down below if you personally have any of these, like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe because I just hit 10k subs and I am now on my way to 20k. Anyways, see ya.